Welcome back, and today we're talking about Jujutsu Kaisen episode 11. So like always, let's just jump into it. Episode 11 of Jujutsu Kaisen started off with a bang. I mean, the Nanami versus Mahito fight was absolutely gorgeous. The animation, you can just feel how fast and how powerful those punches were, right? Like just seeing Nanami move through the sewers, how fast he was going. The animation definitely did a great job at demonstrating that. I absolutely loved it. Even though the fight wasn't too long, the minute or 2 minutes that we did get were absolutely amazing. Now, Nanami did not finish the fight off, right? And my guess is that he knows 100% that he cannot kill Mahito in the way he is right now, right? He doesn't have enough power to do so. Maybe that's something that Gojo will have to take care of, or at the very least, a more powerful sorcerer than Nanami. So I think Nanami understood that, and that's why he kind of ended the fight and said that he was going to leave, and he kind of brought that wall down on top of Mahito, so he could leave without having to, you know, have Mahito chase him and stuff like that. Now, before we jump into the rest of the episode, let me remind you to like and subscribe. It definitely helped the channel out, and of course, I greatly appreciate it. But let's talk about Jujutsu Kaisen. That's what we're here for. Now, this episode, I kind of felt bad for Yoshino because once again, he is kind of being bullied in a different way. He is being used by Mahito, and we did not learn that until like later in the second half of the episode. And having his mom being murdered, I mean, that's just messed up. Honestly, I was kind of seeing Mahito like you know, maybe like a villain, but you know, he does like humans whenever it's convenient for him, or maybe he likes some aspect of humans. But as we see in this episode, he doesn't care about Yoshino at all. I mean, he used Yoshino 100% to lure Itadori into the school. So Mahito, the level of crazy that he is, and learning in this episode that he's really just like a brand new curse, like he's like a child. Really, Nanami said that Mahito is a new curse. He's like a child. He doesn't even have enough power, or he doesn't even know how to create his own dominion yet, and he's already this powerful. So the threat level for Mahito is going to get absolutely insane, and I don't know if it's going to be the main villain of this story, right? Because we know Getao, he's involved in all of these plans, so maybe he's like the head person, or maybe he's like the somebody that everybody comes in for advice, because we know that Getao has been involved in some stuff before, and he's involved in this stuff now. So he's like the mastermind behind all these plans, and he's kind of letting the curses do their own thing. Now they did lose a finger in this episode. Maybe Itadori is going to eat it later on, so he's going to get more powerful maybe. But this episode, I mean, I do feel bad for Yoshino. The fact that he was getting closer to Itadori, right? Like, I feel like Yoshino was seeing Itadori like a friend, and then seeing everything just kind of break down to the point where Yoshino is kind of like the villain now, right? Because he lost everything. I mean, his mother, the way his mother was killed was absolutely brutal. And it doesn't help, right? It doesn't help that we as the viewers, we know that it was Mahito, right? Like Itadori had nothing to do with that. So Mahito set everything up to essentially get Yoshino so angry that he just wants revenge. And I kind of understand where Yoshino is coming from, right? Like, who else wouldn't want to get revenge, right? So I feel bad for Yoshino, like really extremely bad, because getting bullied, losing your mom, essentially he's alone in this world right now, right? Because we don't know if he has any more parents. And this whole episode, right, it came up whenever Yoshino asked Itadori if he has ever killed another human being, and he hasn't. He's still a kid. And heck, even Nanami was talking to Itadori about this, right? That since he's choosing the life of a sorcerer, eventually he's going to have to fight another human being that's evil, and he might have to take somebody else's life. So Itadori is definitely going to come into that situation sooner or later. And from how this episode went, it might be sooner than later. Now, this is your typical shonen, and this is where I see where, you know, it doesn't do anything special. Like, I do like the story in Jujutsu Kaisen. I loved this episode, the action, animation, the story, everything was there. But I honestly think that Itadori is just going to talk his way out of this one. I think Itadori is going to talk to Yoshino, and he's gonna see the light at the end of the tunnel, and Yoshino is going to stand down, and then he's probably going to end up joining the Jujutsu Tech Academy or something along those lines. I honestly don't see Itadori and Yoshino fighting to the death. I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. Another thing that could possibly happen, Yoshino, he gets away. Maybe Mahito comes in and saves Yoshino to train him later on. Again, we don't know how Mahito's brains work. We just know he is absolutely crazy. I honestly thought he was kind of befriending Yoshino. Like, I honestly thought he was kind of being a good friend to Yoshino, but no, he was using the guy all along. So he doesn't have any like human emotions, I don't think. Like, he's just pure evil. I cannot wait for episode 12, but I'm pretty sure we're just going to see Itadori maybe fight Yoshino, but it's not going to be to the death, and Yoshino is probably going to end up joining Jujutsu Tech. Overall, great episode. I loved it, but let me know in the comments what you thought of this episode, and like always, leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you on the next episode.